First, take out the bag base. This one measures 14.5 times 11 centimeter and has a total of 36 holes around the edge. The flat side of the bag base is the inside. The side with the raised rivets is the outside. Find the hole that is aligned horizontally and vertically with the rivet, and put a marker there. Do the same for the other 3 corners as well. Let's count together. There are 7 holes between the 2 marked holes. It should be the same on both sides. If it is, then everything is correct. Take out the yarn. This is mercerized yarn. It has a smooth, glossy finish, doesn't split easily while crocheting, and works up very smoothly. Before starting, leave about a 2-meter yarn tail for later use. If you don't have a measuring tape, you can wrap the yarn vertically around the bag base about 7 times, like this. That's roughly 2 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This is the 2-meter yarn tail we left earlier. Set it aside for now. We'll use it later. Next, wrap the yarn around the left hand. Pick up the bag base with the side where the rivets stick out facing you. Use your middle finger to hold the yarn against the back of the bag base. Now take a 2.5 mm crochet hook. Insert hook into the starting hole. Yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through the loop. This is the starting knot, and it doesn't count as a stitch. Then, still working into the same hole, make a single crochet. This is the first stitch, so put a marker here. Continue working one more single crochet in the same hole. So there are 2 single crochets in this hole. This is the stitch layout for the bag base. Take a screenshot and save it for reference. Next, follow the stitch layout shown in the picture, and work the correct number of stitches into each hole. We'll be using single crochets for the entire round. Just like this. For the first 3 holes, 2 single crochets in each hole. In the next hole, make 3 single crochets. For the next 3 holes, make 2 single crochets in each hole again. Check the back of the bag base. Make sure the yarn tail doesn't get crocheted into the stitches. Remove the marker. In the next 4 holes, 3 single crochets in each hole. 1, 2, 3. All right. Continue following the stitch layout, and complete this round around the bag base on your own. After finishing the last hole, remove the marker. Hook into the first stitch, and make a slip stitch to join. Put a marker in this loop. Count the stitches in this round. There are a total of 90 stitches. Each V shape counts as 1 stitch. Every round from here on will have 90 stitches. This is the first stitch. And this is the last stitch. Now set the working yarn aside and pick up the yarn tail we left earlier. Hook into the hole next to the yarn tail. Yarn over and pull through. Then hook into the next hole. Yarn over and pull through again. Now there will be 2 loops on the hook. Pull the front loop through the back loop. This creates a slip stitch. Let me show you one more time. Repeat the same process, making 1 slip stitch in each hole, until you reach the last hole. When you reach the last hole, pull up the loop, and bring the yarn through. Thread the yarn onto a needle. Needle through the front stitch. And pull the yarn tight. Then insert the needle through the center of the V shape of the last stitch, through the hole to the other side of the bag base. Pull the yarn tight. Turn the bag base over. Insert the needle through the stitches on the bag base, to hide the yarn tail inside the stitches, just like this. Cut off the yarn. The bag base is now finished. Let's move on to the body of the bag. Insert the hook into the loop. And make a chain stitch. Then go back to the first stitch. The first stitch is the same stitch where you made the slip stitch. Insert the hook. Make a single crochet. This is the first stitch in the second round. So put a marker here. Continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way round. Like this. Continue on your own. After finishing the last single crochet, insert the hook into the first stitch and make a single crochet. This is the first stitch of the third round, so put a marker here. In the second stitch, make a downward single crochet. A regular single crochet is worked into the top of the stitch. But for a downward single crochet, insert the hook into the stitch below the normal stitch, and work it like this. Pull the loop up until it's level with the previous single crochet, then yarn over and pull through. This completes 1 downward single crochet. Make a regular single crochet in the third stitch. In the fourth stitch, hook into the stitch below this stitch. Make another downward single crochet. Then make another regular single crochet. followed by another downward single crochet. Continue alternating like this. 1 single crochet, 1 downward single crochet, then 1 single crochet, 1 downward single crochet, and so on until you finish this round. Alright, let's take a look at this round. The entire round is made by alternating 1 regular single crochet and 1 downward single crochet. The last stitch should be a downward single crochet. The marked stitch is the first stitch. Remove the marker and start the next round. The first stitch of the previous round is a regular single crochet, so in this stitch, we'll make a downward single crochet. This is the first stitch, so put a marker here. Remember to put a marker in the first stitch of every round, otherwise it's very easy to lose stitch of where the round starts. The last stitch is a downward single crochet, and the first stitch is also a downward single crochet. The pattern from here on is simple. 1 regular single crochet in every downward single crochet, and 1 downward single crochet in every regular single crochet. The next stitch is a downward single crochet, so make a regular single crochet in it. The following stitch is a regular single crochet, so make a downward single crochet in this stitch. Here is another regular single crochet. And here is another downward single crochet. Now we can see the texture of the bag body coming through. Continue crocheting by following this same pattern all the way round. The last stitch is a downward single crochet, so make a regular single crochet. The first stitch is also a downward single crochet, so make a regular single crochet there as well. Put a marker in the first stitch again. The next stitch is a regular single crochet, so make a downward single crochet into it. Then 1 regular single crochet in the downward single crochet. And continue following this same pattern as before. You can see that we've now reached the 3rd round of downward single crochets. If you count from the bottom row of downward single crochets, upward diagonally, there are 3 rows. We need to work 10 rounds of downward single crochet in total. Please continue the rest on your own. And remember, always put a marker in the first stitch of every round. If you run out of yarn while crocheting, take a new yarn and hold it together with the old yarn tail using your fingers. Then hook into the next stitch, yarn over with the new yarn, and pull through to continue crocheting. Tighten both yarn tails. Lay the 2 yarn tails along the top of the stitches. And as you keep crocheting, Work over them so they get hidden inside the stitches. This way, the yarn tails will be neatly concealed within the work. Continue crocheting a few more stitches. Cut the yarn. Then continue crocheting as normal. This way, you won't see any trace of where the yarn was joined.